Hi, Tara. You're muted.
How are you?
I'm good. Hey, if you can just rename yourself and just put in your club
Yes.
and your position, which I know, but
Okay, sure.
So Ralph, I don't see me up on the view. Do you see me, Jim High?
yes, I do. If you go up into the upper right-hand corner of your screen, you should have a little thing that says view, and what you want is gallery view. Gallery
I have
view.
that picked, but I don't see me.
It could be well, right now your video might be off because all we see is your screensaver.
Well, I have a little problem. I should
Oh,
be upside down.
now that you're there,
Okay, I'm not there.
no, we can see you.
Oh, I feel sorry for you.
You know
Am
what?
I upside down or right side up?
No, you're right side up. You know, you're looking good. You've got
Good.
screensaver in the background, which is very nice.
There I go. Now I got me.
All right. I think I'll just put into. Yep. Ross, if you could rename yourself with your club and your position, that would be appreciated. And there's if to do that up in the upper right hand corner, you're going to see a little square box. That's the in your Hollywood square. Um, three little dots. Click on that. A drop down menu comes up, and go down to the bottom, and it says rename. Yeah, if you move your cursor to the upper right hand corner of your little square. Hi, Lori. Welcome. Hey, rename yourself with your club, which I know, and your position, which I know. But if you could do that, that would be good. And Lisa's going to rename herself too.
So Ralph, just for conversation, how many times have you told people to rename themselves?
Well, each time we do these things, you just got to do it. And, a lot of people remember from time to time, so it gets easier.
Well, that's good.
Oh, Lori's got a nice background.
Yeah, she does.
I think we all wish we could be in that background.
I kind of am in that background, I'm sorry to
Oh,
say.
well, that's nice. You can make us all jealous.
I just should keep my head and not show that I'm not wearing a sweater or a scarf or,
As you get the sunset behind you.
well, that's fake actually, but there was one last night that looked pretty darn close to that.
That's nice. And Jim can rename himself, so we all know that he's the district governor-elect.
Hi, Jim.
And if Renee and Lily can rename yourself with your club and your position. And Kimmy Talbot's there. Yay.
There we go. A lot of people on tonight. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, they're coming in. It's always nice when our presenters, when I see them flash up, because that's always a good feeling when you know that one of the presenters is there.
Yes.
Mhm.
Hello, Fred.
Hi, everybody.
Oh,
How's
getting-
everybody doing tonight?
we're good. We're getting.
Good.
You must be popular because all these CNY people are coming on, Fred, that don't normally come on these things.
Well, okay.
You anyway.
Yeah, it's all good. Let's see. I know quite a few people on here. It's good to see everybody tonight. I look forward to meeting some more of you.
Let's see. Would everybody get? Yep, I think everybody got renamed. Whoa, we're running 100% on the renaming. Of course, it took us 4 weeks, four of these Zooms to do it. But okay, now we got a couple more. I've got to remind. Paul and Mark, if you could rename yourself with your club and your position. Ah, good. Our CNY host is on. We've got Paul's iPhone. Paul, you might have a hard time, but if you could try and rename yourself with your club and your position, that would be great. We're getting there.
Where do I go to rename myself?
Okay, right in your little Hollywood square that you're in the upper, take your cursor and put in the upper right-hand corner. You'll see a little square there with 3
Okay,
dots. If you hit that, a drop-down menu will come down and you'll see rename.
I see just 3 things, speaker view, gallery view, or
No,
hide.
are you just in your square, not on your screen?
Your video square.
Just in your little video square, not the screen.
Okay, let's see.
And we welcome Mary. And Mary, I want you to rename yourself also. Tell us your club and your position, which is just, you can put AG.
And you want name and what's the other thing?
Just your club and your position. It's your name,
Okay.
club, position. Yep. Bob, if you could rename yourself also, and you can do that by in the upper right hand of your little video square, upper right hand corner, there's a little blue square with 3 dots. If you hit that, a drop down menu will come and it'll say rename.
How would you like me to name it?
No, no, Bob, not you, the other Bob, that's another Bob. But
Okay.
yeah,
There we go.
all right, we're just about ready. Feeds on.
27, huh?
Yep. Okay, it's 7 o'clock. We can get started. I want to welcome everybody. I'm Ralph Brand. I'm the chair of Empire Multi-District President-Elect Learning Seminar. And we are jumping the gun a little bit from the official change from pets to learning, but we decided we wanted to do that, so we did. This is our 4th pre-PELS Zoom, and we really appreciate all those who have attended all of them, and we have recorded them, and they are on the website if you happen to miss one. If you have any questions during the presentation tonight, please put them in the chat. We'll get to them after the presentations have finished, and in all the other Zooms, we've been able to answer every question that came in. So I don't think that's going to be an issue, but just put your questions in the Zoom. And tonight, our host is the president-elect for CNY Rotary, Bob Bulk. Bob?
Thanks, Ralph. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. And I just wanted to give my appreciation to Ralph, who's really organizing both the MD Pets Pals event in Syracuse, coming up very, very, very soon, and all of these pre-Pels events. So, Ralph, you're doing a great job, and we really appreciate all your hard work. I would like to introduce the meeting tonight is about membership engagement and leadership. We have 2 great speakers from CNY Rotary, Kimmy Talbot, who is our CNY membership committee chairperson, as well as the Zone innovative club lead. So she's got a lot of great ideas and a lot of great energy around membership. And then Fred Daniels, who is the CNY membership leadership and development person. So Fred and Kimmy, please take it away. And I just want to take 1 second. I'm a CNY Rotarian, but I just saw Tara Dumont there from Penfield, and I actually grew up in Penfield and graduated from Penfield High School. So I'm actually grew up as a 7120 guy, but I'm a CNY guy now. So take it away, guys.
Hello,
you.
everybody. How are you? All right. Fred, did you want to go first or do you want me to go first this evening?
I'm fine going first if that makes some sense.
You got it.
Very
You lead
good.
into me.
All right, so I'm assuming that I have sharing. I do have sharing. So here comes my little PowerPoint thing that I just have to set up as a slideshow. Come on. There we go. Good. Everybody see that okay? Let me get this out of the way. Moving stuff around here just a little bit and all that. Welcome everybody. My function at CNY is around the topic of leadership development. I'll be honest and say I haven't done as much this year as I would like to be doing, but I'm still ramping up and all of that. And the reason why I sort of pitched to get a leadership development component into the membership committee is that so many of our clubs are struggling, first of all, with developing leadership, with finding presidents and incoming presidents, president-elects, and that sort of thing. And so it's very challenging for those clubs. But also what we recognize is that with this next generation of Rotarians, the opportunity for mentorship and professional growth is one of the key reasons why they end up joining Rotary or even consider joining Rotary. And so to the degree that there is leadership development opportunities that are intrinsic to the activities of your club, then that's a good thing for membership growth. And of course, the most tangible aspect of leadership at the club level is that person standing up in the front of the room every single week, running that meeting, and being an effective leader behind the scenes with the board and so on and so forth. So that's the purpose and the reason why wanted to have this conversation. And so here goes my little slide deck, and this will be available to all of you or any of you later on afterwards. I think it goes out as part of the sequence out. So here we go. The question to ask first off is about your leadership style. What kind of a leader do you think you are? Now, some of you are incoming president-elects. Some of you have been president before. Some of you are leaders at your corporation and your businesses or in your community. So some of this may sound familiar to you, but what is your leadership style? And there are a handful of fundamental leadership styles, and I've just put them up on the screen right there. And I just want to talk about them a little bit as we go forward here. I put my timer on because I didn't want it to, oh, that's not happening. That's the stop clock. Here we go. So transformational leaders, you've experienced these folks being inspired by the person standing at the front of the room, in front of your club or in front of your organization. And it's all about developing shared dreams, new visions for the future and what moves folks forward. But maybe you're a servant leader, someone who really recognizes how critical it is to serve the people in your club. And so you want to make sure that that function is very strong in everything that you do on a regular basis. Or maybe you're a coach. You're a coach, and so mentoring is sort of your hallmark there. You tend to pull people to the side a little bit, talk a little bit about how they can lean in a little bit stronger and be more focused with the kinds of things that your club needs to benefit from. And then giving them some assistance and guidance in terms of improving their performance. Then there's the affiliative leader, that person who's really all about making sure that there's harmony in a group, and there's process involved in making sure that people in a group, in a subgroup, maybe a committee at your club, feel recognized, feel like they are part of the overall conversation, that their ideas matter. And that's maybe where you're strong as a leader. And then the participative reader, who really is someone who pulls the knowledge, the insight out of the people that they're dealing with, and really takes advantage of those skill sets there. And then the pace setter, someone who is setting a high standard for performance in terms of the club and what's going on. And let's do things better, faster, differently. Let's do a few things that have not been traditionally done in the way in prior years. So these are the fundamental leadership styles that you tend to encounter as you go about your business in Rotary or otherwise. So what makes a leader effective? That's really the critical issue, because I guess anybody can stand in front of the group, but if you're not being effective, then you obviously have a different set of issues here. So communication, effective goal setting, building consensus, teamwork, time management. These are critical elements of effective leadership. And we're going to talk about each one of these categories as we go through the rest of this slide deck. And what I want to really encourage around the leadership development effort that you'll undertake personally, your club undertakes, is the notion that we begin to embrace much more mentoring. And that can be the person who's in your club helping to mentor you. If you can identify that skill set that person has that you benefit from, or in the case, as we talked about a little bit earlier, the notion of younger people coming to Rotary looking for that professional development and mentoring those, and then living your values. Because in my own opinion, and not everybody agrees with this, but in my own opinion, the most effective characteristic of a leader is sincerity, earnestness, the belief that people have in you that what you're saying is what you mean, that you'll do what you say you'll do when you say you'll do it. And so these are the skills that make an effective leader. So let's talk about a little bit of each of these here and focus on. So there are different communication styles, and you can see them. I'm not going to read them out loud for you. I can tell you, for instance, that I am not an analytical communicator. I am an intuitive communicator. I tend to move around at 5,000 feet a lot, not at ground level. And it's not that I'm avoiding detail, but I'm relying on the people around me to make sure that the detail is in alignment with the vision that I have up at 5,000 feet. And I sort of have a secondary function as a personal communicator because my orientation is that if I'm hearing you and you're hearing me, then we are making a connection there so that when I'm asking you to get involved, when I'm encouraging you to lean in, to step forward, to in some way to assist the club, that there's a sincere trust that is associated with that emotional connection. And so those are my two communication styles. And so the question I want you to start thinking about as we go through these various characteristics here is, who am I? What kind of a communicator am I? Which of these styles really makes me feel most comfortable? Because as we go forward over time, we can concentrate on ways to be a better intuitive communicator or ways to be a more personal communicator and so on. So one of the most critical elements of leadership is listening. And it's really the flip side of communication. So and you know, I have have it said to me, and I've said to my own children occasionally, you know, listening and hearing are not always the same. I know you're listening, but you are not hearing. And that is something that really ends up being an important thing to do. And so there are strategies around effective listening, nonverbal cues, good eye contact, hearing things in the broader context, but hearing also the emotional content that underlies that. Sometimes there's more detail in what you're hearing through the emotions than the actual facts. Repeat facts back to the speaker as a way to frame. This is called parroting. Also, I hear you saying that you believe our club needs to do more faster. I like that idea. And to use those I statements more than you statements. So this is what I'm hearing you say and all that. And then a great notion on listening effectively is to not react to your first thought, to react more to your second thought about what you're hearing. And this really goes to the issue of we all carry our baggage and our bias as we go forward over time. And generally speaking, your first thought is about the bias or the baggage, which is, oh, here we go again. Or he always says this, or she, you know, always has talked to me like this. But go to the second thought, because if you're listening for that second thought, if you're developing the second thought, you are still listening and you've moved past your baggage and your bias. And so it can be an effective way to be a good listener. So, you know, when you think of a good leader, start thinking of the people who you believe are effective communicators, who you respect. And then ask yourself, as I encouraged you already to do, what kind of a communicator are you? And as you begin to distill what kind of a communicator you are, start looking for your challenges. Where are you falling down? What can you do between now and July 1, those of you who are incoming presidents, to begin to effectively address the challenges of your communicating style? And start, strategizing around that. Talk to some people whose opinion you trust, and ask them if they have ideas about it. So that's all about communication. Let's talk a little bit about goal setting. This is a really common thing. You'll be asked, I think, as part of your effort to get grants, and it's a useful task anyway, to set goals within Club Runner, and you can use that as a platform for goal setting. But it's really about making sure, I mean, you've got 52 weeks in your president's year to try to get that thing done, to try to actualize your vision. And you'd be surprised how quickly that goes by. And in point of fact, one of the early things I did in my Rotary career is I created a 16-month calendar. I put my email address in the chat. If you'd like a copy of my 16-month calendar, which begins in February this month and goes through your Rotary year, it can be an effective thing to do to help you make sure that you're setting your goals with the strategic use of time. So, setting those goals, that's your strengths, your weaknesses, long and short-term goals, an action plan, evaluating and measuring success. All of those are characteristics of effective goal setting. How am I doing on time here? Went away. I just want to make sure. Okay, I got about 10 more minutes. Good. So goal setting, I think we're all relatively comfortable with goal setting. And the question becomes, what's the most effective way to get those things done and to be realistic about them? And one of the things I harp on a lot, and this is member engagement, celebrating success, your success and the success of the people around you. Every single week, you should recognize a committee if you're a president, and you can recognize an individual or a set of individuals for something. It doesn't have to be huge. It can be significant, though, that happened in the past week. So this is all about, to a certain degree, about building consensus. And this is where people begin to trust you as a leader, that you are hearing what they're saying and that you are appreciating the integrity of their thoughts and their ideas, because that's where you want to end up, because they are therefore more likely to support you, because there's that back and forth trust, and they feel like they've been involved in the decision making. So timelines end up being important, making sure that everybody understands what all the other people want from a situation, reviewing what's critical and what is not critical for each person, and making sure that you have some conversation. One of my leadership styles is to be process oriented. And so especially as you're coming into your new Rotary year, or starting to work on that committee that you're on, or dealing with new board members and that sort of thing, to really have some general sense that there's a process of involving people in these ways, hearing what they're saying, reviewing what's important for every person, making sure that people have a voice at the table, and that takes time. There was as a member of my church, I was asked to lead an effort to add a room, a building onto our church. And I said, yeah, it'll take about 18 months for me to engage in that process. And the person I was talking to said, what? No, just get it done. I said, no, you got the wrong guy. If you want to just get it done, you got the wrong guy. So anyway, that's my little personal story, whatever. So here's a question for you. Think about a critical issue in your club where there's no clear consensus. Do you have one? What about the phrase, we've never done it like that before? That's not the way we do it. Is that underscores a lack of consensus about a path going forward. That can be a critical issue, and having to deal with that by building consensus in your club ends up being a really important thing to do. What are those tension points? And what can you do, and others who you are working with and through as leaders in your club, towards achieving some consensus on an issue? And this really leads into this topic of teamwork. In the end, people sometimes ask me what I think is the most important thing for them to do as they get ready to step into the presidential leadership role for their club. And my answer is always the same. Identify on your board and identify in the room the people that you want to be able to work with and cultivate them. And that's work that's done in month 16 and 15 and 14 as you're getting ready to get into towards July 1. So good teams take time. My forming, storming, norming, and performing strategies are really part of the process for developing a good team. Making sure that people have a chance to feel that they are forming a cohesive group, that we're actively having conversations and communication about this sort of thing. And this can be you in front of your club. It can be dealing with your board. It can be dealing with a committee that you may have at your club. Norming, gaining confidence, making decisions and taking responsibility, and then ultimately performing or executing is the ultimate goal that you want to really, achieve by way of developing your team. In the end, there are two kinds of team members for the president-elects among us here. There on your board, there are people who have responsibility for the happiness and success of the club, and they're your board members. There are some folks on your board members who will resist you more than other folks will. There are some folks on your board member that you can pull aside and say, this is really what I'm thinking. How can we get to where we need to be? And that sort of thing. But then there are also people in your club who you just trust their instinct. That when you say, I'm struggling with this thing, do you have some advice? And they give you some advice, you trust that, and because you know that it's coming from a good place. So find those two groups of people as you head on into your presidential year. You can read more strategies about building teams, holding effective meetings, managing conflict before it gets out of control or gets too far down the road. All of those things are effective elements of teamwork. So you've been part of teams at Rotary, in your club, at your business, and so on and so forth. Think about what is it that has made that team that I have particular respect for effective? What is it that really has been sort of the secret sauce of how that team worked? You'll find those, you'll see them, and you can adopt them as you work within the teams that you'll develop as part of your president's year. Time management, very straightforward. You got to be productive. And there's this great chart that I will leave up for a little while just to get some sense of it. There are the important, urgent things like crisis. Oh my God, got to get this done now. Not so urgent, but important things. Not important, not urgent things, like all of the emails that you'll get, especially as district governors. Those of you who are district governors will recognize, my emails got up to more than 100 a day as the district governor in District 7190. So happily, they're not that at this point in time. It's not that they're not urgent or not important, but it's what you do after you've sort of done all the other things. So consider your time management carefully as you go forward. So think about yourself again. Where do you struggle with time management? I'm a morning person. By 2 in the afternoon, I'm really flagging, and that's, that's my least productive time. But if I know I've got to get something done, I'll be doing it at 6 a.m. That's just the way that I operate. But other strategies that improve time management. Delegation is a classic time management strategy, especially if you're delegating to a person and saying to them, keep me on track. Make sure I've done the thing that I told you I needed to get done by this time. Fred, have you done it? Okay, that's a strategy that's worked for me in the past around time management. So we've got a couple of minutes. I can bring this slide back up after Kimmy's done with hers. I don't want to take any of her time. We were all asked to put stuff into the chat, questions that folks might have. I can just bail out of this and we can have a conversation about those questions now. But these are just some discussion topics that I sort of laid out there. You know, the whole concept about is it ever good to agree to disagree? You know, what's your most valuable tool around time management and that sort of thing. But all of that having been said and done, I just want to say thanks.
Thank you, Fred.
No
I
problem.
think what we'll do is let's transition over to Kimmy, let her do that. And
Okay.
then we can go to any questions that we have.
Sounds good.
Hey everybody, I'm going to screen share here, and I did practice this last night. One thing you will know about me, I am not great at technology, so bear with me here for 1 second. See if I can get this to come up here. And I will apologize first off if you hear a little toddler running around. He thinks he's Buzz Lightyear right now, and I was trying to get him to be quiet, so I apologize if you hear little running feet. All right, let me pull this down. There's this new bar that comes up on everything, so put it up there. All right, everybody. So I'm Kimmy Talbot. I am CNY's membership chair, and I am the Innovative Club Advocate. I know I have an acronym on my thing for Zone 32. And I'm going to talk a little bit here about membership. Can everybody see the screen okay?
Yep.
Perfect. So first of all, I want to say congratulations. You've made it to the last session of the PELS training on Zoom. So great job. And I'm going to have a little bit of fun with you guys. Membership is sometimes a little bit scary. It does not have to be a horror film. So we're going to talk a little bit about different things you can do for membership and why it's so important. So membership's lights, camera, action, and the characters involved. First of all, we're going to talk a little bit about the crew. Membership is not just meant for your membership chair. It's not just the president who has to worry about it. So you as a president need to involve your board in your membership. And you have a membership chair that obviously you're going to be working with. And I urge you, please put in your membership chair for your club. It is very important so that we can chit chat together as a team for the membership. And then your membership chair should have a committee because it's not just one person. And your members need to be involved in membership also. So that's a little bit about our crew. So you as a president, it just isn't on you to grow our clubs or open new clubs. You've got your board, your membership chair, your membership committee, and members, and you should all be talking together. It is super important that you guys are all active together. So we're going to talk a little about lights. So, oh, hang on 1 second. I apologize. Your bar is on my thing. There we go. So when you think about lighting, I'm going to tell you to take a deep look at with your membership chair at your club. Look at your club and say, okay, how's our membership doing? Are we diverse? I'm going to ask you to do club surveys to get feedback. And if you have not reached out to Fred, he has great club surveys and can help you with that and get your data on what your club feels. My club at Scotia Rotary, we just did a club survey and we were able to graph it and get it back, and we could get all aspects from the members because it was anonymous. So we got a true feel about how our membership feels about our club. Do they think it's exciting? Do they like the lunch? Do they enjoy the meetings? Do they like the projects that we're doing? Those things all affect your membership. If you see that your membership is declining or people just aren't coming or not engaged, take a look at that. Put a spotlight on that and say, what's going on? And I want you to think about with your membership chair, if you know who your membership chair is for next year, or take the membership chair that you have this year and kind of talk and say, okay, what areas do we need attention to? Are we not doing enough membership drivers? Are our members not coming? Are they not engaged? Work together to come up with a plan for next year. And when you're coming up with that plan, we always look through one lens. I'm sure you've all heard that before, the lens that you look through, or rose-colored glasses. So look through your membership lens. How do your club members feel? And Fred had great leadership styles he was talking about. One of the things he said is active listening and active listening. So how do they feel? Do they see the club the way you see it through the same lens? Is everything all rosy? Or do they have some things that they don't enjoy? Do they not enjoy certain aspects of the meeting? And how does your club community see you? So you're looking at it as your club, we're great, we're vibrant, we're out in our community. But does your community really know who you are? Do they know that Rotary symbol? Do they know that they can join Rotary? And what does your club look like to others? And that's very important because you can say, we are a great team, we are great, we love everybody, come join us. But what do you look like to your community? So look through that lens and say, am I a vibrant club? Do I feel welcoming? Do I have enough diversity in my club that I'm going to be attracting new people? And take action. Fred talked about this a little bit about making an action plan and taking action. Make a plan. Membership needs a plan. It just doesn't happen by itself. It doesn't happen in 6 months. It takes time to build membership. And don't be afraid to take action. Some of the things that you can do is, maybe change your meeting time, change your menu, but make sure you take action on different items. And change it up to meet where your club members need. That's a very important statement in membership because so many of us have our traditional times. I can tell you, I love my club. I've been in my club for many years. I have a noon meeting. And in the last 2 years, my life has changed and I can't meet at my noon meeting every single week. So maybe I visit another club, but I'm still engaged with my club because we have a newsletter, we're talking to each other, we're talking about membership, we're doing different things. But my club is trying to meet me where I need to be. And part of meeting club members' needs is maybe opening a new club. I know you've all heard this and you're like, oh, I don't want to hear about new clubs anymore. And one of the things I hear the most about new clubs is they're going to steal my members. They're going to take away from my club. Well, no, we're all Rotarians. We're all part of Rotary. And I can tell you that I worked on opening a few satellite clubs in my area. And believe it or not, I was able to grow clubs in my straight area right where I am by finding members and talking about Rotary and trying to get these new satellite clubs off the ground. And you know what? A club next door to me, their meeting and what they had passion about was a better fit for that person I was talking to. So it's an opportunity to get out into your community or other communities and talk about Rotary and finding where they go. And sometimes a new club, maybe a satellite club or a companion club, can help you grow your membership right there in your own club. Satellite clubs and companion clubs are a great way to do that. Satellite clubs can break off or they can stay part of you. Same with companion clubs and impact clubs. So think about changing things up and be innovative. I know my thing is innovative club advocate, but I'm going to tell you as a past president, being innovative and changing things up in your club may seem very, very scary, but it's not. Really change it up. You have permission to change things up. Doesn't have to always be the same old. I love the traditions of my club. I love how my club does things and is deep rooted into the traditions. But I was able to talk to the elders in my club who are very passionate about keeping those traditions and talk to them and say, hey, you know what? What if we did it a little differently? Kept the tradition, but changed it to 2025, maybe. Something that you guys could do. Be innovative, change it up. So as we're going throughout the year, some of you are like, oh my goodness, I'm so overwhelmed. There's so much. I've learned so much. I've got so many things to do. Just remember, especially with membership, the rehearsal. You're going to come up with a plan. Are you going to forget to do some of those things in a plan? Absolutely. Are you going to fumble and mess things up and it doesn't come out perfectly? Or maybe fumble and that opportunity became a success? Absolutely. Are you going to have stage fright and be like, I don't know if I'm doing this right. I don't seem to be growing. I can't do this. Absolutely. And that's why you have your crew. You have your team to do this. And have fun with it. If you want to do a membership driver, you might do a trivia night. You might do something fun. Think something different and that you haven't tried before, even though you'll hear it. We've always done it this way before. You know what? Be innovative. have fun with your membership and trying to get new members and retaining your members also. Because as we talk about getting new members and growing our club, we also have to take a moment to have fun and retain the members that we have. And that's where we talked about a little bit about meeting our members where they're at. And then here's the show. It is the whole year you're running, you're putting on your show for the year, and it's time to watch. Will we grow with these plans? Are you going to ask yourself? Yes, maybe not. Was there enough action? Did we do enough membership drives? Were we out there enough? Did our public image come into play enough? Were we visible? And how did the lighting affect the mood? So when you wrote your plan, those things that you highlighted, how did that change the mood of your club? Pay attention to that and work closely with your membership chair on that. What was the highlight of the show? What was the best thing? So something that you can do in preparation is sit back and say, what did we do this past year as a club or the year before that I loved so much that I want to do again? What was the highlight of my membership for this year? How did we gain more people? Or how did I retain people? How did I change things up? Those are all things that are part of membership that people don't really talk about. And so, yes, I'm going to say to you, we want to be +1 every single club this year. But you know what? You got to go through all these steps and you're going to fumble and you're going to have successes and opportunities, and that's okay. But please don't leave it to your membership chair. I'm going to ask you, please make sure you put your membership chair into your database so that we know who they are and have them get a committee. Fred talked about teams. He talked about having a committee. He talked about, working together with leaders, find out who your strong people are this year that you would like to maybe say to your membership chair for next year, this would be a great person on your committee. Go ahead. Those are things that you can prep for. And I know you guys are so overwhelmed, but membership matters. And why does membership matter? Membership is really, I've just talked about this, a group effort. The more members we have, the larger impact we have worldwide and in our communities. And it's a larger networking field. We talked a little bit about networking when Fred first started off. Networking is not only for membership, networking is for our members, for them to be able to grow personally who they are. So you have a larger field with more members. And there's more hands to help. As many of our clubs are aging, we need more hands to help, and growing our membership is one of those ways. Okay, let's see if I can stop my screen share here. Shut this down. I cannot get back to you for some reason.
You
Down
should
in
be able
the
to
Zoom.
return to screen, return to meeting. Either the,
Yeah, click on your Zoom.
Oh, right here?
yeah,
Nope.
Nope.
I apologize, guys. I am not good at this. And I just was able to do this yesterday and it was perfectly fine.
well, if just go on ahead and close out your desktop there.
Mhm.
Then your screen should come up, your Zoom screen, and then you'll see a return to
There
meeting.
you are. I see you now. There you are, guys. Sorry about that. Did I stop screen sharing for you?
Oh, we still see your desktop.
There
There,
we
now we're good.
There
Now
you go.
we're good.
Woohoo! Thanks, guys. See, I told you it's a team effort. Now, I'm going to say have fun and reach out. Fred has got some great surveys. I'm here to help you. I've put my information in the chat. Feel free to literally call me, and I will be at PELS for you. So you guys can come and talk to me. I can work on you with your membership numbers and let you know where you're at and what your retention is and how you're going. And I'm always available for you. Just give me a call. Go ahead and take it back, Fred.
Well, I'll take back just enough to say that I saw in the chat a number of you requested access to the calendar, for that 16-month planning calendar. I just want to say that I looked at it quickly as Kimmy was talking and realized I've got some links I need to update. So I will do that and I will get it out to the folks. I'm assuming I'll be able to access this chat somehow or another, get it out to folks who requested it, or it could go out as materials, generally speaking, to all the president-elects.
Fred, what we can do is if once you get that set,
Yeah.
send it to Bob or Jim,
Okay,
and we'll get it over to the Empire Multi-District President Training Seminar website, and we can post it on the website.
great, great, great. And you know, Kimmy mentioned one thing. I just want to hop in a little bit, just another second more. One thing about feeling overwhelmed as heading into your president's year, I've got just one thing from a different presentation that I did that people have found to be very helpful here. This was a weekly routine about keeping it simple, the 5 W's, and so I just want to. Gee, where's my slideshow? There we go. Just want to simply say that this can be very useful here. And these, you know, who, what, where, when, and why. If you're doing this every single week, so, you know, who do I need to connect with this week? Who do I need to connect with this week? What is the one thing that must happen this week? Where is my presence needed, or where should the club be seen? When is the next critical deadline? This week? Where are we on that critical deadline? And why should we do what we must do this week? What's the rationale? If you work the 5 W's, then things begin to get into a routine and a pattern, a consistent pattern, and you are being perceived as getting things done and having a strong handle on what's going on in your club. So think about the 5 W's.
Time for questions and answers?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, the first question that's in the chat is for Kimmy. Can you tell us a little bit more about companion and impact clubs and how they might differ from satellite clubs?
So the companion and impact clubs are clubs that are coming off of your club. They're smaller amounts. They can be larger amounts, but they are smaller amounts. And they're kind of a companion with you. So you might have a noon meeting and you're like, you know what, I really want to have a companion club. And so I'm going to have them at a different time. It's different than having a alternate night meeting because they are going to eventually grow and be partners with you. So you can say, you know what, my impact club is going to focus on veterans, and my club focuses on um food insecurity, and we have a bunch of different things. An impact club really, really focuses on something that is going to be an impact, something that they're really focused on, something that is they don't have like 4 or 5 different things they're working on in their community. The satellite club starts off with 8 members and they can charter themselves, and they are completely connected to your club. So they run everything through your um president, they run everything through all of your finances. They are just a different, again, a different time, a different meeting time. And they start getting their own president, they start growing their own board, but they're connected with you completely until they get up to 30 members, and then they may break off and become their own club. A lot of our clubs have satellite clubs. We have a satellite club in our district that is global, and it is attached to a local club here in central New York. And they use WhatsApp, and they have members from all over the world. But because they need to have that leadership to help them grow before they ever break off, and I don't think they're ever going to break off, they're going to remain a satellite club off of this main club, they kind of mentor that club. Whereas your impact club and your companion club, they can be completely separate, or they can be part of your club, just a different, they won't have their own full charter if they stay connected to your club. Does that answer your question?
Yes, but what was I going to ask? Could like a Friends of Rotary club, a Friends of Rotary be turned into like a companion club?
It could. I always like that Friends of Rotary clubs become a satellite club
Okay.
because they they don't have to do all the treasury. They don't have to be a president.
Mhm.
They can work on their own things as part of the club, but if they're not ready to take on those roles, they can be your satellite. So I always like Friends of Rotaries to become a satellite club.
And what is the due structure like for each of these clubs?
So that is based on what your board decides. Some of our satellite clubs, the satellite members pay the same amount of money that regular dues of your club chooses. Some of our satellite clubs only pay RI and district dues. Remember, you cannot be a Rotarian if you do not pay RI and district dues. So it depends on the structure that you would like to have. Our Rotaract clubs, some people have opened up Rotaract clubs because now there's no age limit on a Rotaract clubs and you can be a Rotarian, and that does have a completely different different pricing for Rotary. They start out at $8, but usually that is more of our young professionals looking for Rotary, but we do have some older Rotaract clubs also.
Kimmy, if I can just add on the Friends of Rotary trying to transition to a satellite, the biggest hurdle with that is most of the time they're not joining your club as a regular Rotarian because they don't want to pay dues. They don't want that financial obligation, but they're more than willing to help you. But if you can transition your Friends of Rotary to a satellite, that's a wonderful thing.
Mhm.
It is, and we've seen a lot of them transition into a Rotaract club, like off of their like a community Rotaract club, the Friends of Rotary. But if you can get them to transition into, and that's something that your board has to decide. If you want to say, hey, you know what, our Friends of Rotary, they just really can't afford the dues. Come up with an innovative way in your club to lower those dues for them. Maybe they're using WhatsApp, they're not paying for a meeting place. Maybe they are not paying for meals. So as long as they're paying RI and district dues, find out what the total would be, and that would be your minimum for that. Maybe they're not getting the Rotary magazine, or there are just different ways. You just kind of have to look at what would be best for them. It's not just a cookie cutter kind of thing. It's kind of what is best for your people.
Perfect, thank you. I don't see any other questions in the chat, so maybe if people do have questions, they can come off of mute and ask them directly.
I'll give another example of an interesting impact opportunity. It's there's a contractor in our area. Kim knows him well, and he loves to drink beer, and he'd love to establish what he calls happy hour Rotary.
Hmm.
But he doesn't really want to start a Rotary club, and he doesn't really want to do what he calls the rigmarole. But he's willing to be a Rotarian. He's willing to join my club. He's willing to bring 2 other contractors he knows as new members to my club. So I get 3 members out of it. But as we were drinking beer just the other night, here's the concept we came up with. In the greater capital region where I'm based, there are 30, roughly 30 clubs, any one of whom has probably considered a project for the community that involves trades skills, tradespeople, but didn't have the capability or the people involved there. This person, Nathan, he knows contractors and tradespeople all around the capital region. And his premise is, let me go as a Rotarian and market my trades group that meets every 2 weeks and has beers at one of 16 different breweries all around the region, and offer them up as a service to Rotary clubs throughout this general area to get them to reconsider that project that they probably decided not to do because they don't know enough tradespeople to actually make it happen. It's just an interesting sort of version of membership growth that actually has a service component to other Rotary clubs in addition to the community. It's just a different way of looking at things.
So that's an impact club they're going to start creating?
I'm not sure it's going to be anything other than 2 or 3 Rotarians to join my club. But I think the other part of the pitch to the club in Glens Falls, which is 45 minutes away from me or something, is to say, tradespeople that he'll reach out to do your project because he knows lots of them. That's an opportunity for you to talk to that person about joining the Glens Falls Rotary Club.
Hmm.
It can also be a purpose club,
Cause-based?
cause-based purpose club. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you have a cause base, and remember, it doesn't have to be just in your area. So think about that too. If you have a cause-based club, and you're like, you know what, I have these people who I know, and they really are really for this cause. Go talk to them. There's lots of different causes that we have in our community where they don't know that we Rotarians, we in Rotary, have funding. We can help these, causes or help these agencies grow, because part of doing, we talk about impact projects when we're, as, presidents and membership chairs talk about having an impact project. Well, you know what? You have to partner with other people to be able to make a bigger impact on a project. Well, what if those other groups were Rotarians that had a cause and we said, hey, we have the financial background, you have the cause. Let's grab some other people who have the knowledge and the skills, and maybe we can join together as one club and do a bigger thing in our community. And then you're gaining members. People are seeing the value of Rotary right at that moment.
Hmm.
And the project doesn't even have to be in your community. Think of an e-club.
Yeah.
Think of an e-club of what they can do, because geographically your members can be from anywhere. So your project can be on a different scale, for that impact.
And that's exactly true. We have the Heartbeat Club, which focuses on women and children, because women are the heartbeat of, having children, the heartbeat of many households. So they say, you know what? We're going to focus on women's issues and children's issues. And we have members, a part of that club. It's a satellite club off of a club. Um, who are all over the world. They're from Pakistan, they're from Uganda, and they just do projects in their communities based on what they think that needs to happen. And they all come together and they work together to get this project done. They get connections with other Rotary clubs in the area, and they make a difference. It's not just right here in New York, it's worldwide, it's global.
Lisa, anything else?
Well, there's just a question. I think we've answered it, but it's please discuss cause-based clubs further. Any examples and how are they connected? I think we've touched upon that, but this sounds like it might be a good topic for a future webinar, put on by our districts to talk to more clubs about satellite impact, those sorts of clubs. But no, there's nothing else in the chat.
Great. Well, Bob unfortunately had to leave us. So I'm going to both, thank Fred and Kimmy on behalf of Bob for their presentation, which I think is very, very good. In fact, all of our pre-PELS stuff has been fantastic. That's why, this is recorded. It'll be on the website. When you talk to other president-elects around your area, and if they haven't attended these, tell them, take the time, go to the website, listen to them. The information here is so valuable to a president-elect. And each of our sessions are very focused on one particular topic that is going to help you in your year. So with that, I want to thank you very much. We're closing out our 2025 Pre-PEL season with this Zoom. And I hope I see everybody in Syracuse on March 15th and 16th. So I'm going to say goodnight.
Good night,
Right,
everyone.
thank you.
Good night.
Hey, Lisa, are you still on?